James here from goodguitarist.com, and today we're going to learn how to play Leaving on a Jet Plane by John Denver. And we're going to learn how to strum the chords and also how to play the melody. So if you have a friend to play with, or even if you just record yourself doing one and then you can do the other one over the recording, this one's really fun to put together. And as far as the chords are concerned, it's super duper easy. As far as the melody is concerned, it's quite easy. So no matter what your level, there's definitely going to be something here for you. Anyways, we're going to get started with the chord shapes. Our first one is G. From there, we go to a C chord. And then finally, a D chord. Now those are some pretty basic chords that most people start off with, and if you have any trouble with them, I have a few resources for you. There's my free ebook, which is free for all my subscribers, and it gives you all sorts of tips. There's even videos showing you how to switch from G to C or from C to D. But if you want like the complete picture, I also have a premium beginners course that takes you all the way from like never having touched a guitar before to being able to play along with, you'll have the skill set to be able to play along with hundreds of thousands of songs. I'm not even kidding. That is how it works. Anyways, before we move on and practice these chords, I want to show you a couple switching tips. So we have our G, and when we switch from G to C, pretty much every finger is different, right? Everything is moving to a different place, and that's pretty tough if you're just getting started. Now, I find the best way to accomplish that is to develop a strategy. Say we're switching from G to C. I think, okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to get this finger down on my C chord. So that's all I work on, G to C. Cool, well now I want to get that finger and that finger down. So I practice going from G and I see how quickly I can get those two fingers down. Then 1, 2, 3, and then I've made the switch. So just go about it systematically. Same thing for C to D. This one, there's a tiny little trick to it. We take these two fingers, they're already making a shape that we can just slide all the way to the edge of the fretboard, and that's our D chord. So these two fingers are already in a similar shape to where they need to be, and then you just finish your D chord. And then when we're going from D back to G, we can just leave our ring finger down, leave our third finger down, and that'll make the switch a little bit easier. So just play around with that a little bit if you're not familiar with those chord shapes. Don't forget to check out my free ebook or my course. Otherwise, we're gonna move on and practice these chords using downstrokes only. We're just gonna play through the chord progression, counting along and making sure that we're strumming each chord the right amount of times. Starting off on G, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. So that's the full chord order for the whole song. 1, 2, let's do it again. G to C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Here we're gonna go to that D chord. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. So that's the chord progression for literally every section of this song. That's the verse, the chorus, the pre-chorus, it's all of it. And all we have to do now is figure out a strumming pattern, and that's it. That's the whole rhythm part of this song. But before we move on, make sure that you can do it just like that, downstrokes only, counting along, making nice clean chord switches. Anyways, the strumming pattern we're going to use for this one goes like this. And that's the most common strumming pattern ever. I'll do it really slowly for you. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I go over this in my ebook. It's Essential Strumming Pattern number 2. If you just want to watch a whole video that goes over this whole thing. I'm going to quickly break it down right now though. We start off going down, down, up, 3 and 4 and down, down, up, 3 with the counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the second half is miss, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and miss, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and miss, up, down, up. So I'm missing on a downstroke, then going up, down, up. And the reason why we say miss is because that downstroke, that's a main beat, and when it's missing, it feels kind of weird. So we just say miss. It helps keep us grounded, helps keep our rhythm more steady. Anyways, once you have both those halves, you glue it together with the counting. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. So take your time with that, and when you're ready, we're going to put that together with the chords, and we're going to be able to play through the verse, pre-chorus, and the chorus, all those sections. Let's just try it out right now, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So at the very end there, you might have noticed that I held on to that D chord for 2 extra measures. That's what he does on the recording. You know, it's pretty easy to just add that. Just keep playing the D chord with the strumming pattern 2 more times. Anyways, once you have that down and you can strum through the song, we can take a look at the melody. And like I said before, every section of this song is the same. You know, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, they all have the same chords. So like, what makes them different? And it's the melody that makes them different. So this one, we're gonna have to learn 3 different melodies. 1 for the verse, 1 for the pre-chorus, and 1 for the chorus. They're all quite simple. They're all in the same spot on the fretboard. Pretty straightforward. Let's start out with the verse melody. It goes like this. And I also have a lead ebook that might help you out with some of the stuff in here, like reading the tab at the top of the screen. You know, we go over all that in my free lead guitar ebook. I'll have a link down below for that, so check that out. So we start off by placing our first finger on the first fret of the B string, of the second string, and we pluck that string. And it doesn't matter what finger you use. Like, normally I would use a pick for this, or my fingers, and you know, it's slow enough that it doesn't really matter. We're gonna pluck it. Then we're going to take that finger off and pluck the open string. Then we play the open G string and the open D string. So that's the first thing I'd figure out. Then we go. And for that, I'm just playing the second fret of the D string, then the open G string, then the second fret. When you put that all together, and we do that whole thing 2 times. And then the next part. So for that, we're going to divide that into a couple parts. First, which is just the open G string, then the first fret of the B string, open, back to the G string, 2, O. So O. Then we do this again. Which is almost the same thing, you know, we just didn't do that very first note. And then we finish it off just with that one. So, do this 2 times. And all together. And if you're having trouble getting the rhythm of it, you know, because it's kind of ridiculous to like map out the rhythm for this whole melody. The real way to get it is to just get used to saying the words in time, you know. All my bags are packed. Even if you're not singing, just saying the words with the rhythm. Standing here outside your door, I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. You know, and then you try doing that with the melody. Dawn is breaking, early morn. The taxi's waiting, blowing his horn. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. As long as you just say it and just make sure that the notes you're playing line up with your words, and that the words that you're playing, you know, line up with how the song goes, it should be fine. Anyways, the next part of the melody is for the pre-chorus. It goes like this. It's pretty much the same thing 3 times, but just with little differences each time, you know, just to make it line up with the words. So we start off on the 3rd fret of the B string, and we're going to go 3, O, 3. Then we go to our first finger, 1, O, and then we play the G string open. So 3, O, 3, 1, O, G string. You know, so maybe saying the words rhythmically as if you were singing the song. Kiss me and smile with me. Next, it's pretty much the same bits, except since the words are a bit different. Tell me that you'll wait for me. It's the same thing, except after the very first note, there's 2 zeros. Me that. You'll wait for me. And then finally, pretty much the same thing. Hold me like you'll never. So it's the same up to that point. Then on the G string, 2, 0, 2. And the last part of the melody is the chorus. It goes like this. So it's pretty similar. Like I said, we're going to be using the same like 5 or 6 notes for this whole thing. We start off on the open B string, and then we go to the 3rd fret. I'm leaving, and that's the open G string. So from the B string, 0, 3, 3, then 0 on the G string. Then on a jet plane. So that's the open highest string. Then the 3rd fret on the B string. 3, 1, 3. 0, then on the B string. 3, 1, 3. Then we go 3, 0, 3. 1, 3, 1. So, don't know when I'll be back. All on the B string. 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 1. Then open B, open G. All that's left now is that, babe, I hate to go. So that's just 3, 1, 0. Then on the G string, 2, 0, 2. So 3 on the B string, 3, 1, 0. Then on the G string, 2, 0, 2. Now this is a lot to memorize. It's really long, so I recommend doing it one bit at a time. Now I'm gonna play some chords and the melody together. You're gonna see how it all works out together. And then after that, you can always rewind to the middle of this tutorial where I just played the chords. Remember when we just were strumming the chords together? And then try the melody yourself. So right now, practice it with me, doing the melody with me, and then just go to the part where I'm doing this. If you don't have a friend to play with to do the chords for you, I'll be your friend. I'll play the chords for you. Just go to the middle of this video. I'll have the time up where it is in the corner here. And you can try the melody on your own over, me strumming through the chords. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right, so that's how you play Leaving on a Jet Plane by John Denver, both the strumming and the melody. And I'll be honest, playing the melody to a song is something that you're not necessarily going to perform unless you have a guitar recital, but it is really good to help get you, playing notes and getting into that kind of stuff. And later when you want to, say, combine chords with a melody to play a chord melody something like that, you can do it a lot easier because you have some control over the melody. You know a little bit about your scales and all that stuff. So this is just a really easy way to get into that. Just nothing too heavy. Anyways, have fun with this, whether you're learning the rhythm or the lead or both. I have a couple resources. There's my ebooks for rhythm guitar. I have one for lead guitar. I have a complete beginner's course. So check out any of those. I'll put links down below for that stuff. And yeah, have a good time practicing. I'll see you soon.